younger levels, you never know what you're going to get when you come up to high school.
No, you're right, because it happens in soccer, it happens in basketball, it happens in volleyball. You know, a lot of these transfers come in.
Right.
They're even transferring from Kealakekee to Konawaena.
Right.
In some aspects to play certain sports, you know. So
well, I know this year because the quarterback from Kealakehe's father coached at Konawaena last year, and his son started as a freshman. And the father ended up getting the head coaching job at Kealakehe. The son decided to follow him, and so did a handful of other key players. Ended up going to Kealakehe, and because those kids came to Kealakehe, some of the kids that played those same positions went to Konawaena because they're realizing, well, you know, I may not play because this kid just came and we play the same position, and they kind of flip-flopped and swapped, but Konawaena kind of got the upper hand on that because they beat Kealakehe twice this year.
Well, I guess everybody gets a GE. Everybody gets a geographical exception, I guess, right? Everybody gets one. Like Oprah, everybody gets a car, right? Oh, that's good. Oh, that could have got picked off. That ball just hops off the hands, man.
Off the receiver's hands, number 9. Tipped it up into the air.
That's a dangerous pass.
Kavelu Kayave, 5'11", 165
He just had
freshman.
that big run. That's the
Hilo player's eyes got really big, but just couldn't get to it in time.
You know, you practice those in practice, right? The tip drills and stuff like that. But when it actually happens in the game, like you said, your eyes get big, man. It's like, oh. They're still throwing darts, though.
Yeah.
That looks good, man. 30 seconds off the clock coming down. 21-0, man. Like you said, though, the other game you're talking about, the first game, the 43-0, like, it doesn't seem like it's a 21-0 game right here. It seems like it's very close, you know?
That's the thing with Konawaena. The efficiency that the Vikings are showing right now has to do with their time. Oh, thank you. Their efficiency has to do with the amount of reps and time they put into it. Coach Murray, Coach Zeke, Tomaselli, these guys are so dedicated, and they're practically putting in 7 days a week, whether it's watching film, helping the boys get stretched out, doing yoga, lifting weights, conditioning, practice, whatever.
Thank you.
It's really everyone should be very grateful that we have people in our community that are willing to do these things for these young student athletes out here.
They sure do not do it for the money, that's for sure.
Right.
And when you're a player, you don't realize that.
Yeah.
All the hours you put in, because you're going to play Friday night, you know?
Right.
But as a coach, your time of putting on the pads is over, man.
Right.
You know, you don't get that glory time on the field.
It's all for the love of the game at that point, right? And the love of these kids, seeing them mature into young men.
Yep. He's got a lot of time to pass. Nice pass, wide open.
That was a nice tight spiral.
Oh, he's angry too.
Well, Konawaena definitely puts up points as well. Their JV program has been excellent. I believe the only squads that they lost to has been Hilo that first time around, and it was a similar score to what the varsity game was. I believe it was like 35-0 or something like that. But the big thing with Konawaena and how they make Hilo play is they make Hilo be consistent. They're not going to allow you to have a lot of big plays. They make you drive, and it really comes to show the time and work that they put in.
I tell you, man. And they're off the punt. Low punt. Spiral, though. Little bouncer. He's going to field it. He touched it. He touched it.
Get on it. Number 13 falls on the ball just before Konawaena.
Yep. Koa Kui.
I tell you, looked like he was trying to make a big play there. He wanted to razzle and dazzle a little bit, but, you know, being that it's slippery and the ball's bouncing all over the place, you know, he was better off just diving on it and secured it. You know, looks like around the 15 or 12-yard line.
He made the right decision at the end.
But considering this offense and what it's been able to do so far, they're probably just going to run out the rest of this clock. Look like about 12 seconds left in the first quarter or first half. And we're just about to go to intermission here.
That could have been bad. Like you said,
That
though, I'm
could have
glad he
been
pounced
bad,
on
right?
it. Yep.
They should have just fair caught that ball or just let it keep bouncing, because with that little time left, it's really not worth making an error like that. But Akui is such a great player. You know, he's trying to make plays at all times. He'll definitely learn from that.
Well, that's the thing you mentioned earlier too about just the conditions, the soggy, wet ground. The ball won't bounce like how it was when it was dry. So when you let the ball on the ground, you just really don't know which way it's gonna go, and you take that gamble. But he touched it, but at least he got a chance to just jump on that thing, because Konawaena could easily jumped on that and then had a last play right here. So.
Scored when they never had an opportunity or a chance to get that close. That would have been tragic. Yeah, that's Ibanez.
Oh, he's got crutches. Looks like, is that an Achilles or ankle injury?
He told me something about it. He thinks it's a fracture, but hopefully it's nothing major like that. It's just a sprain, because this kid, he definitely has the opportunity to play at the next level. Just his size alone, coming in at about 6'1", 6'2" as a freshman.
That's a big boy.
The kid's a QB/DN. I mean, sky's the limit. We had couple recruiters that had come down. Coach, one of the assistant head coaches from BYU this year.
Yeah.
Assistant coach, offensive coordinator from University of Hawaii came to visit practice, and they're definitely impressed with him and his size and wanted to monitor him through the years. And as long as he keeps his head on straight, keeps training hard, I think this kid is going to get an offer.
Well, that's definitely good to hear. I'm hopeful. Maybe I'll see him next semester then in my class. We'll see.
And Konawaena and Hilo High School varsity programs are actually the only two programs right now that have players that are gonna or have a full ride offer for Division I, which is incredibly rare for the Big Island. Not a lot of eyes, not a lot of opportunities. There is a tremendous amount of talent. In fact, I was talking to Lolo Holani's younger brother, who was a 2014 graduate of Hilo High, and he had a Kansas Jayhawk shirt on. Got picked up from a JC in California.
Awesome.
Went to the Kansas Jayhawks. And that's kind of the story of a lot of big-time athletes or athletes that have potential here, is because they don't get seen. They have to go to the NAIA, JC level, D3, D2. And believe it or not, every year for probably the past 6 or 7 years, at least one kid has been getting picked up by a major university.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. It does help to get on K-Vikes and things like this.
This
like
is
you
tremendous.
said, we didn't have this going on. So you got this going on.
And not a lot of people taking video back then.
Yeah.
Now with social media, Twitter,
that's true.
Facebook, Instagram, it's much easier to connect. Right. And we're seeing the fruits of that pay off in today's day and age. Kaylin Davis-White received an offer from Coach Jordan Loeffler from a school in Oregon.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Just last week.
Look at Kahu over there, man. Yeah. That guy is looking younger every day. Let's see that guy. Looking good there, Kahu.
How could you not when you have a program that's doing this well?
I guess so, man.
And I don't know if you heard, but Kahu announced to the players that this is going to be his last year, at least for the time being. But I think it's because his kids are coming to that age where he feels like he wants to be there for them to coach, and he has some other things going on with his church that he needs to be there for. But I do know Zeke is a Viking. He bleeds blue and gold, and he definitely will be helping some way, shape, or form. But just not as committed as he always has been for the last few years. But I can guarantee one day he'll be back.
Well, he, like you said, man, he not only loves these boys in this game, he loves the community. He's a community guy. So, all the best to him.
Great. So I actually wanted to ask you, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Now that we're at halftime, because you're a staff member and you've kind of been in the culture of the students on campus and having a winning program that's been this dominant, I'm sure it changes some of the dynamics or perceptions and things that people look at these kids differently or how they feel about the coaches and the program as a whole. What have you been hearing? What have you been seeing on campus from the students, the teachers, in regards to how they view where this program has come, where it's heading? What's kind of the perception there?
Well, let me just tell you about Viking pride. You know, you talk about Viking pride, it comes down to being successful. Winning football games or doing well in the classroom or getting recognized for volunteering and doing, you know, there's so many kids coming out of Hilo High. And, you know, as a teacher, I'd like to take some of the credit, but I really can't. You know, these kids are being raised so well from their families. They have great heads on their shoulders. They're just, it's the future is so bright. And it gives me chicken skin because, you know, these kids are coming from a small little town in Hilo.
Right.
But now, you know, getting these opportunities with maybe technology or whether they're doing well in science or JRTC, or there's all these people giving back, volunteering their time, their time, because it's not really during school time. It's after that. Robotics, you name it. I mean, and now these kids are getting all these opportunities, building their confidence and seeing what they really can do. And it's not about, well, I'm from a small town anymore. It's like, no, I can go change the world, you know?
Right.
And I'm biased because I was a football player too, student athlete, and, you know, I was a form of, you know, football player too. And so, of course, I like to brag and I like to, you know, I like to win games. It's always nice to have a winning program.
You got to have pride, right?
But when you have a successful football team, you know, that's like 50, 60, maybe even 80 young men being mentored in this game of football, teaching them about life. And it does transcend on the campus. It does change the campus. You know, these guys are.
You probably see a lot of the other kids follow in line what the football players are doing, or, you know, if they're acting up, the other kids tend to act up. If they're keeping those kids in line, then everything's good, right?
It does make a big difference. And then you look at the crowd, right? The band, there's more kids coming out. Look at the cheerleaders, there's more cheerleaders, there's more fans. There's more spirit.
Right.
There's more pride. There's just
it's a huge trickle-down effect, right?
So
just a little thing like winning, creating a winning program, a winning atmosphere for these kids in this school. It's a tremendous thing for all of these kids to be a part of.
It's definitely a special time. But look at our basketball teams, right? Back in the day when they won state championships.
Right.
I was a class of 91 graduate, and we won the state championship basketball.
Yeah, I remember that team. That was a great team.
You went to the Civic, and it was packed.
Right.
Everybody was there, you know? Look at our volleyball programs. Look at baseball. Hilo High baseball team.
Oh, yeah, with Buzzy
Legendary.
Capeles. Yeah.
Legendary. You know,
I was fortunate enough, Buzzy Capeles was still there. And unfortunately, he retired after my sophomore year because he was an incredible coach.
I mean, like I said, I'm biased. I'm an athlete, student athlete. So when your athletes are performing well on the field or on the court, it also transcends to the classroom. They need to keep that 2.0. They can't have any Fs.
Right.
So they need to stay focused in the classroom. They are the leaders on campus, and it's a very, very positive thing. When I know not winning is not everything, but it's a very positive thing when you have a successful program, especially Hilo High School. Like this is only my 6th year back home. I was on Oahu for 20-something years, so this is my 6th year back home. I'm living the dream. Always wanted to teach at Hilo High, and I've been on the sidelines because I have family. I don't have time to coach right now, so I've been holding the chains all these years. And I've been looking on the other side of the sidelines, thinking that we're going to get smashed.
Wow.
They're taller, they're bigger, they're faster.
Right.
But we keep winning.
Right.
And I keep on telling everybody else, because they ask me, why do you guys keep winning? And I said, these boys, they stick together. They believe in one another. They're very disciplined. Their coaching staff is unbelievable.
Right.
They work hard in the weight room. They work hard in the practice field. They don't know how to lose. They stick together. They make the plays when their plays are needed the most.
Right.
And another thing, too, especially in the years back, where these Hilo boys love to hit.
Right.
They are not afraid at all. And for me, being on coaching staffs of other programs on Oahu, you could tell before the game even started who wanted to hit and who was like,
I don't want a piece of that.
I don't want none of that. I'll go get the tea. I'll go hang out with by the water cooler. You know.
Right. Well, so, and I think Coach, we'd have to maybe give a lot of that credit to Coach Kael Germundo, because he really sets the tone for the coaching staff and for the team. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, he kind of reminds me of a Nick Saban type. He's very warm and inspirational, but yet he finds a way to bring the best out of people, and he gets on your butt if you do not follow his directions to the T. And a lot of these kids love it because they just feel like when he's yelling at them, they're giving, they, of course they don't like it at the time, but that extra added attention and appreciation and time and love and his dedication to this program and keeping the other coaches in line as well is something that we need more of. I mean, we need more coaches like him to start sprinkling in at some of the other schools so we can make this place more competitive.
You really hit it on the spot, because when you're talking about Coach Kael, I started getting chicken skin, because this man is a mentor. He's a police officer.
Yeah.
He's a community guy. He's a serviceman of others. He's very humble. He is very, very focused on discipline. Right. And like you said it. Discipline is love. A lot of these boys, they embrace that discipline. They eat that up. It's shared. And look at this. They're very, very disciplined. I don't know the numbers for penalties or poor sportsmanship, things like that, but I don't see that much. And back in the day when I played, we had some crazy guys doing some crazy things, man. It's like, what are you doing, man? You just penalized the whole team. Right. We lost the game because of your lack of self-control. So these boys, coming from the head coach, because it's direct, like you said, it's the direct reflection of these coaches, committed not only to these boys but to the community. And he has a big family of his own.
Right.
He doesn't have a Chihuahua at home. He has at least 4 children, I believe. And I was excited for him when he thought about leaving. But I was super, super bummed about us. And then I got super excited that he said he was going to be staying here. So
surprise.
These Hilo boys, they understand that they are blessed with these coaches. And you never know how long these coaches are going to go ahead and do this. Because like you said, about the time. They're not getting the
big pay that they deserve, like a Texas program or some of these California schools even get. I heard some of their head coaches get paid in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to coach high school football.
High school. Even the facilities.
Up to $1 million,
right?
Actually. Yeah,
they got stadiums. They got like all these multiple uniforms.
And guys like him deserve to be coaching in places like that because he loves it that much and he's willing to work and dedicate himself to the team and studying, watching film. I tell you what, I've never seen a coach